links on sometimes it changes. Okay, you should hear my voice now. Can you hear it? Okay, let me know if you can hear my voice now, Sue. So I'll have to probably backtrack a little bit. Let me see how far. For the most part, the homepage, what I'm recommending for that, I don't know if you heard any of that stuff, if it got lost or not. Sometimes this technology is a little buggy. I definitely want to add some spacing to this area. I think this will go a long way. Just letting this area to breathe, giving it some space. It's feeling very squished in there. I would recommend having these blocks a little bit bigger. I think that would go a long way. Making sure that some of these details get cut off. You might even want to utilize a trimming, text trim. Just kind of go through there and edit it down, or make the blocks bigger so it fits all the text in there. Make this section here, make it have a bigger testimonial, make it bigger, and an attribution, add that when possible. We have the third down here, which looks good. When it comes to your storefront looks great. It's fantastic. You've done a really good job at setting it up. Your bespoke here has no information here though, so definitely recommend making sure that stuff goes there. When it comes to your galleries, I think your galleries are looking great. They kind of do everything you need them to. You might want to add a little bit more detail here at the top just for SEO purposes, and I would say that across the line for all these. And when we come down to which one was it? This one, you can see that this one's missing that nice little divider here at the top. Definitely recommend having that title and divider here just to add some brevity, and it looks a little bit better in terms of the page itself. When you come to this page, I would love to have another image here just to have everything even. And then when we came down to, there was another one. This one right here is all by itself, so it'd be nice if we had two more images to kind of just square it off so it doesn't have what I like call the t-shirt, a little tag on it. So it's just hanging out by itself like a little t-shirt tag on the back. For this page looks great. You can see that these two kind of go to the same place, these two buttons. Definitely recommend removing one or moving one down and adding more before and afters when possible. And then for this page for headshots, I thought this details look great, but all the Book Now buttons go directly to your home page. So any Book Now button on your website, I definitely recommend making sure that they funnel to the right page or contact, I assume. Because right now when I click on any of those, they just take us back to the home page. And then I think that's where we're caught up to here. Yes. So if this one, we want to make sure that the product gallery is visible in the gallery section. You can see it's not visible at all here, and I had to hunt it down to find these images. And I bet when I click here, it takes me somewhere. I don't know where. See? So we got to make sure that they're going somewhere proper. So I want to make sure that that information is getting stored somewhere. So Sue, I hope that helps with the catch up. All right, back into it. I like this page. I think it looks good. When I click on here, yes, we want to make sure it's going to this form, these Book Now forms, if you want that there. This one does nothing, so let's make sure that that one is fixed as well. And let's jump over to portraits. So we come over here, you can see the portrait information. Great details. I love this. This looks really nice. Information and prices. I like the rollover effect for prices. Looks good. And then when I click Book Now, it takes me straight back to the home page. So just be aware of that, okay? Because right now you're basically ushering them out the door. Next, let's see. Again, also break up any monotonous areas where it's a lot of white. Use a divider, use images just to break those up. I think I also recommended that for the headshot page as well. There's a lot of just text, and it can be very difficult for people to read through all of this because it just feels like a wall. Break it up with some dividers and some images when possible, or a little bit of color. Okay, so I think we're caught up to there. Let's check out your Learn page. Let's see, one-to-one photography tuition. Let's see, it looks good. We have multiple book nows. We only need one since this page is so short. And make sure that it goes here. Yep, good. Cool looking banner. Nice looking piece right here. But definitely recommend making sure just there's only one button. There's no need to have two. All right. Same thing here. You only need one. And I would expand on this. Put some more details. Right now, it feels very lackluster. I want to have more information about this. All right, let's check out your contact. Susan, I would almost pull out the about just so it's a little bit more details defined about you directly here, so you don't have to have contact. And you can also probably pull out your reviews as well, because right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7. You can probably do up to 8 or 9 is fine, because you don't have a ton of extra pages after that. There's no reason for them to have to click contact and then contact. You know what I'm saying? Good bit of detail. Make this text change the color. It's hard to see. Fix the spacing here because it just kind of runs into a dead end. And you could have this where it fits, you know, remove the white here, and it just kind of couples in. It'll look really nice. All right, let's jump over to the contact me page. Simple enough. Yep. And then let's jump to the reviews page. A little bit of information, looks good. You know what you could add here at the bottom is book your session with me or something like that. Just because they're already reading, you know, highlights from people and how they've worked with you. Now give people the opportunity to book with you. All right, let's check out your blog. Oh, it's been a while since you blogged. I definitely recommend getting some blogs up here. It's been a year, almost to, you know, in 6 days, it'll be a year. Let's try to add some more details. Have you been working in this last year? Let people know. You're like, woo, it's been a busy year. Here's what I've been up to. Easy way to do that. And it gives you more stuff for SEO purposes for Google to make sure that you don't fall in rankings and stuff like that. So definitely recommend that. Let's take a look at one of your blogs. So a little how-to. Looks good. Great little how-to, especially for photographers that might come to you for your expertise. Looks really nice. Now let's do one. Do you have one that might be for customers? Maybe like this one. Now this is a, you know, opposition of the proposition to get them to, you know, buy our actual materials versus just digital photos. It's very good. Here's where you can add call to actions to book with you, though. Definitely recommend that. And let's see if we have one more. Let's take a look at this one. Behind the scenes style. Looks really cool. Very cool. It's been a while, but hey, you know, write more stories. Stories help sell you as a business. Okay. Those are my recommendations. Sorry if the sound went out on you, Susan. So you can always review this section. I try to catch everything up in that area. If you have any other questions, you can always reach out to our team. Our team will be able to assist you in that as well. All right, let's jump over to our next one. Our next one is Gervy Travel Services. So this is actually a travel agency, it seems like. So let's take a look at what they're doing when it comes to everything. So they have a huge image, huge banner here at the top. Got some proposition values, customization, plan my trips, some details here, types of trips and giveaways, women-only adventures. So one thing I definitely recommend doing is breaking this up. This is just a lot. So boom, 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 boom. Let's break this section up here with a divider, just so it kind of feels, you know, it's a lot to digest. I think a divider would go well right there. This is slightly overwhelming, just because there's a lot of information. I would definitely maybe not use the flush on this block, but I like the idea. And I think adding a divider here, running across, and then we get to here, and then we have another divider. Maybe we change the color, the background of this section. I think that'll go a long way. I think that'll look really nice. And then you can connect the dots right into this next section. This button's kind of getting lost here, so definitely recommend using white. And for this background, change the opacity level to like a darker contrasted color. Nice photo. I would add maybe even a chat with me button right there. I think that would look good. Okay, let's jump over to the about. We got a lot of variety of colors. Definitely recommend trying to stick to 2 at most when it comes to like a page like this. That way it doesn't become overstimulating and overwhelming. The colors I like on this page are these 2. I think these fit your parameter the most, or this one and this one. I think those, somewhere in these 3 palettes. Pick those 2 though, I think. And just be aware, you might want to even go a little darker shade like this one because the white kind of gets lost in there. So beautiful images though. Love this. This looks fantastic. And then if you want to utilize blue, something like this does work really well, but I definitely recommend making it like flush at the bottom and that be what you see at the very end of a page. This one right here, the blue is just kind of overpowering the rest of everything else that comes after it, because it doesn't fit. It feels like it's unnecessary to the rest of the page. And I get what we're learning about you and stuff like that, but here I would have this, maybe a divider, boom, cut right across. Maybe the whole background has a color on it with this image, and then it's popped over. Then we scroll down to see all this cool stuff, and then I say, remember, stick to 2 colors, and it could be these 2 brown tones or this gold tone with a brown beige tone with it. And then stick with that blue down here, and then pull this above that. Okay, check out destinations. Pretty cool. Now we got that blue coming back. Now the blue doesn't really, we have blue, purples, golds, and browns. Remember, stick to only a few colors. You can see even your logo utilizes more of the brown, bronze tones and golds. And your blue kind of is here, but we don't need it throughout. If you want to use it, it's fine. Just own it instead of having 5 colors in it. It just becomes a little difficult for branding. For here, what I definitely recommend here is I kind of want this whole background to be a big solid color, just because it pops right out right away. And then you could have this like on white. So if this is like that blue tone or that golder tone, that bronze tone, then you could have this right over top of that. I think that'll look really nice. And then you have this nice rollover of that, and then discover more down here at the bottom. I think that would look really attractive. So you can see here it kind of changes as you go on. Each page might not fit the same parameters. I definitely recommend trying to find something of familiarity so you have a consistent look throughout the website. You don't want to change it up too much because then it becomes like a hassle to try to read through all the content. I like the start where there's a bunch of information here at the top, much like the Australia one with an image. I think that looks really cool. When we come here, we got the same startup, but then it changes to a different gallery setup. I definitely recommend picking one over the other. I kind of like I do like the roll through. I think that's nice. It's very clean and easy to navigate, and it gives them the option to look at stuff. Or you can keep it this way, where it's just a roll across. So you choose if you want a slideshow or you want them to scroll. And then you have different places that they can journey to, which I'm sure have pages within there. Yep, and this looks great. Like, this looks really awesome. Again, if you're going to use that blue, right? That looks really nice. Let's check out Aruba. Different shade of blue. Stick to your colors. Now we're up to 6 colors. And let's go look at, oh, St. Lucia is not clickable. So just be aware of that. And a new shade of blue. So remember, just stick to the ones that you've been utilizing, okay? And then you have your Sandal Resorts, which look really cool. I like this page. It's really big and bombastic. When we click on that, it's going to have details about that event. Videos are private. Be aware of that. Video is private. Be aware of that. And this might be all the same page. Let's see. See, you want to be aware. Your videos have gone down, or whoever you're linking from has privated them, which basically means unpublished them. It looks like all of them, okay? So definitely be aware of that. Check your website often for things like that. This one is not. Add a little breathing room here. Add some breathing room here. Change the text here. It's too bold compared to everything else on the page. This looks fine. That one's gone. That one's gone as well. Looks nice. Video is private as well. Video is private as well. A lot of details on this one. Break it up with a little bit of that color that you've been utilizing, or images. Okay. Okay. Back to Central America again. Love this look. The colors are green. Now we're on our 7th color. And I get you're trying to kind of feel more tropical and stuff like that, but I want to be more branded to you versus the location. Let the pictures be the color. For that, definitely want it to feel like it's familiar to the other pages. This one feels the most opposite so far because it just drops right on in to the checkerboard pattern style of the pages. So just be aware of that. Yeah. So definitely want you to do that when possible. Let's check out Europe. No, my goodness. Now there's a lot going on in this page. So if I was going to do that, where's this going to take me? It's going to take me off-site. This is going to take me off-site too? Yeah. So all these are off-site links. That's fine. And I think that's okay. Again, try to make this feel familiar to the other pages. And then you can say something like, where would you like to travel to? Then you give these options. Okay? All right, let's take a look at some of your getaways. Oh, we're introducing gray tones as a divider. And we have a new color tone, a new teal tone. So definitely would remove these tones. I don't think they're necessary to the page at all, especially with everything else having more of the blue and golds. So definitely recommend removing that. Again, no need for the teal. No aqua. We don't need that. Unnecessary. Just remove those. Yeah. Remove those colors. Yeah, same thing. Remove those colors. They're just kind of getting in the way. Vacation rentals. Let's jump over there. So a little bit, just give some context. I see the context drop in here, but let's just give a context about what's going on. Again, new shade of color. Try to find familiarity of the colors. Stick to some consistency. Right now we just got too many colors on the page and a lot of text, which is fine. You need the context, right? But let's brand it to your business versus the locale. Yeah, okay. Services, let's check out your services. Is that a new shade of gold? Nice little rotator. For some testimonials. You might even want to have testimonials on the outside of services. And you might even want to change this up. This is kind of a cool way to do it, but if you want to, you can use our FAQ blocks for frequently asked questions. Just check out the blog. Looks like you've been blogging pretty consistent. You did have some drop off in fall, but it's probably out of your season, typically, right? Great images, great looking contacts, and nice booking. Yeah, so it's not bad. So what I recommend though is definitely trying to hone in on your colors. For a travel agent website, it's gonna kind of feel slightly overwhelming because you got so much context in general, and you're trying to sell so many different types of experiences and packages available, right? But there are ways to break it up. A lot of it is coming down to dividers and utilizing your color branding stronger. So you could get to a section like this, right, where we have really cool section here. You could drop this whole section right here, and this could be that brown tone or the gold tones that you have versus on white. And then this breaks it up with some white sections, and then we drop into where to next, which can have color behind it. And then removing a lot of these other colors that are very dissonant to the rest of it. If you want to match the gold that's in your shirt, I definitely recommend that. Use these tones. I think these are stronger versus the blues and stuff like that throughout it. The blues just kind of get in the way. They pop for a second, but then they feel alien to the rest of the page. Don't want to have that when it comes to your branding. Let your photos have the color, because look at the experiences that they're showcasing. I'm seeing a beautiful sunset. I'm seeing another location with a sunset. I'm seeing tropical destinations with beautiful, ornate cultures. I see beautiful location with ornate cultures. So just think about those types of situations and let those really speak versus the actual, colors of the blocks and stuff. And then just breaking it up. Again, just try to find a consistent look. If this is the look that you like, go with that look. Replicate that throughout the rest of the pages. That way it doesn't feel alien too much. And then when it comes to those other pages, watch out for those video links because a lot of them are down, and just break it up whenever possible with the dividers and such. But overall, I think you have a lot of great content. It's just trying to find a balance to make this feel more branded. Now, if you want our team to take a look at it, we have services available. Our We Build It For You service is a great way to do a makeover. So if you want to take advantage of that, talk to our team. We might even have some promotions going on right now. You can save money on that, and they'll go through and optimize your website, and it'll look a lot more polished. So that's just what I recommend, is adding a little bit more polish to this website to feel more branded to your brand versus the locations of where you want to send people. All right, let's jump over to our next website. All right. Angles and shots photography. Let's take a look. Okay, so right away, let's take a look at some of the stuff. Great looking photography, amazing stuff, beautiful styles. You do a little bit of everything from what I can tell. What I recommend at the top banner, I think I saw, right here where it says headshots. I want to make sure that the font fits properly, and maybe this image, maybe you just dial down the headshots a little bit to be smaller. Now, when it comes to color and things like that, you've got a lot of different colors and patterns happening on. I don't think you need this one for the circles. I definitely recommend pulling that back. And it looks like you utilize a lot of gold colors, but then there's red and then there's greens, vibrant colors like that. Definitely recommend sticking to the gold. I think the gold looks really rich on the website, looks really natural to the website. Like, I think this gold section here looks fabulous, and it pairs well with that blue. So maybe that's the balance. Maybe there's blues, blacks, white, and that gold tone. Utilize that in some way. So your buttons could have that gold tone here, or they could have that blue with white text on top. Just think about how you can make this look a little bit more attractive and more, branded to the website itself. The green just feels very, very alien to the rest of the website. And that red also, even though it pops out, it's just a little garish compared to everything else. Like, this looks really cool. And what I would do with this section, instead of having the little gaps in the air, I would squeeze those sections together and then have this section have space between it. The welcome to space, then this section comes in, then have these squeezed together. and then this squeezed together. So I think that will be what I definitely recommend. So let's jump over to the artist page. All right, let's take a look. So this is what I'm talking about when it gets a little too colorful. So we want to dial it back a little bit. Instead of having these hard colors, think about the natural colors that we saw on the other page. So this dark muted like textured wall is really nice. I think that goes a long way because it lets the images sing versus the background. So change it to something else. I say utilize that darker tone here. I think that'll look really nice. Then you could have a nice call to action here that has that color on it. Then drop down into this section. Instead of using the blue as a background, use the gold. Use the gold here, have the text be either the light or darker color. And then these boxes, this is where you could have the boxes be black with white text. And I think that would look really nice with this section. The green is really hard to read on this tone. Definitely recommend fixing that. It just makes it really difficult to read. Neon green is tough to pull off, especially for websites. Let's jump over to the portfolio. Okay, we have, see, this is beautiful. And see how the images pop? That's what you want. You want the website to feel like this all the time. All the time. Looks gorgeous. Looks very good. Yeah, I definitely think, you know, it looks really good. These sections really nice. What I would add here, just some context. Write about what types of galleries that people are about to experience. What is this? What types of photography you do? Because you're showcasing everything. Instead of breaking them up into individual galleries, they're all huddled here. So talk about how you do maybe Sweet 16 photos or portraitures or, you know, teens or wedding, engagement, headshots, slice of life, you name it. Any types of engagement, anything that you do. Definitely break it up, talk about it here, or then create their own galleries for each individual. Like this stuff right here could go in its own individual section. Headshots could go in its own individual. Sweet 16 stuff can go in its own section, it seems like so far. Engagement photos, family photos, you name it. Let's break them up so people are guided directly to the types of photography that they're interested in versus being distracted by it. Like I might be looking at wedding and all of a sudden I see headshots. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Great looking photos though. I think this looks really nice. Just break it up so it's in different categories. Let's jump over to the investment page. Again, let's flip the switch on this and let's not utilize that blue like that intensity. Definitely make it either because is anything here? This block doesn't even have anything in it, so you can remove that block and you can just jump right into the service itself. You could have this be that gold tone and black, like a black card with white text with that gold sheen behind it. And I'd recommend using like this one that you had, like a little bit of texture behind it. I think that would look really sick. Or you could use this blue and gold that way with that texture on it, and that would look really cool with like a white card on top of it. Remove this color, unnecessary. Remove this color, unnecessary. Remove this texture, unnecessary. Remove that book now color. Make it branded. We now all of a sudden have mauve greenish tones coming in. Not necessary. Now this looks awesome. That's what you want. When it comes to the clients section, you might want to put an image that represents there. Right now it's not going anywhere. And you have blogs that are also triggered on these sections that go to no blogs that you've written. So just be aware of that on those secondary navigations. Booking, when we come here. Okay. So you've been experimenting with some things. So just be aware about these pages that you need to make sure they're up to date and on par with everything else that you have on your website. And also try to make all of them feel familiar. That way, when they're going through the website, they see a consistent pattern. That way, they know what they're clicking on versus having to guess, oh, this is for portfolio now. Get what I'm saying? So just be aware of that throughout the rest of the website. So the biggest thing here I have to say is watching your colors and branding. I think you want to definitely reduce it down. You do not need the neon greens, the hot reds, and minimize the use of blue to being like a touch like this. You could squeeze some sections here and there, and I think that would add a lot of just playfulness to the website. It'll look really attractive. And other pieces to it is, yeah, removing some of these hard reds, these hard blues. That's a lot. It's really dense. And then you got these hard greens as well. And then you have some sections that just kind of hang out by themselves. You don't need that. And then maybe break up the portfolio into different sections. I think that would go a long way. For the investment page, changing this up, modifying it a bit to make it a little bit more attractive. Removing the greens, this section here as well. Making this sure it schedules properly the way you want it to. Looks good. Available sweatshirts. Hey, what's this sweatshirt, right? We don't even know what it looks like. Might want to have a design for it laid out. So a little bit of things like that. We just want to make sure that it's looking consistent and looking attractive at the end of the day. I think you got a lot of great ideas. I think there's just some things that we need to modify, and then remove unnecessary pieces that you're not using. If you're not blogging, remove it. If you're not doing that, remove it. If you are going to blog, start blogging. And down here, you got just an image. I definitely recommend putting your branding. Put that down there at the bottom. I think that goes a long way. But that's just some of the things that I see on this page that I think you could really make happen. If you have any questions, please reach out to our team. We'll be able to assist you with that. And again, if you want our team to tackle it and make those changes for you, we also have service available. So, and yeah, let me know in the comment section, or when I email this to you, please let me know as well. Okay, let's take a look at our last website for today. Olivia Gray Pritchard Photography. Really cool logo. That was the first thing I noticed. Pretty sick. All right, love this. Looks really awesome. Nice large button. Looks good. I would break this up again with some dividers. Take a sip of water. Break this up with some dividers, because right now it's just so much white. You could just slice it in half right there, and then when we come down to here, we can deal with that. Or you could have this be a touch of color, however you want to. Just break up the monotony of the white wall. Got a video. It looks really cool. It autoplays when they come in. Just be aware of that. Let's check out your promise. Great details. Looks good. Again, what I would recommend here is, let's break up this section here. This is just a large wall of text. You can add like a swipe of color through this section just to break it up a little bit. And then when we come down here, this looks good. You could add text wrapping, so when it gets to here, the text wraps down there. This part you don't need it. This part you wouldn't need it because it's so close anyway. That looks fine. This one I think could utilize the text wrap function. I think it'll look attractive that way. This section looks fine, and that section looks fine. Just things to be familiar with. Make sure all your buttons go to where you need them to go. We have ones that say book your section, inquire now. Make sure that you choose between caps or no caps, because sometimes your buttons shift throughout. See? Standard, capped, 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 standard. So just be aware of those things. Little things like that. All right, let's jump over to your portfolio. Let's take a look at this. Love the style, just big, beautiful, bold, amazing photography. Easy sell. What you could do down here, you could add a little bit of details and let this just sing at the top, but you could have some SEO related data down here that's just talking about, like, if you're looking for a newborn studio session X, Y, and Z is good for you because blah 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 blah, and then New Orleans locations, etc. The who, what, when, and where. It's a great place to put it right at the bottom. It doesn't have to be at the top. Just if it's on the page, it helps. Same thing with this. Love it. Gorgeous. Very consistent. Looks beautiful. Same recommendation for this. Yeah, so it's probably going to be the same recommendation for all the gallery pages. Just a little bit of information because someone might search out baby photography before they get to your home page. Excellent, excellent, beautiful photos. Okay, let's take a look at this. Now I feel like this could be cleaned up. It feels like the text is a little bit large for what's happening here. You might be able to do, well, I wouldn't even recommend doing the text wrap because you're doing bullet points, so it might look funky. So what I recommend is maybe having it this on this block, then taking this section and creating it in a new text editor block in between this. I think that would look really nice. And then this part will be fine. I think it's just really this section here. It just kind of looks, it just kind of makes it look odd, and we don't want that. It just feels like it's running together. So I would take this and break it up that way, and then have this section with this block, and I think that looks fine. Okay, let's jump over to your about. Great portrait. Nice effect, looks good. Beautiful. Yeah, love it. Looks great. Simple enough, right? And you got your contacts. Again, make sure which one's all capped or not. Looks great. This looks good. You could have like a small little divider here if you wanted to, just to add a little flair. Very cool. What you could do, I like it. No, I like it. I'm just thinking if there's any other thing you could do. You could. No, I think it looks good. I keep thinking I want this below it, but I think it's fine. It's impactful. All right, let's take a look at this one. Really good. What would I do with this page? If you want to, because it feels so familiar after a while, you could break it up a little bit just by either making some of these blocks go from maybe the first few are white and then maybe some are eggshell or something of that nature, or you could have a divider cut through or something of that nature. That's the only thing I can think of, because after, or better yet, you could add a call to action in between, like after the first 3, call to action to book now, and then another 3, book now, and then once you get to the bottom. I think that would look really nice. Jump right into your little film. Let's see. Cool. Nice little film. Definitely add that little contact button here, would go well there. Behind the scenes, like this, looks really nice. Lets them pump right into what they want to watch. Very cool. Very cool. Break it up with a divider. Nice use of the buttons. Very cool. All right, in the press. So got some video content. Looks really good. Nice little stories. Oh, is this one story all together? Oh, definitely add some spacing there. Ooh, got a lot of buttons here. I just saw this. It just ran into Button City. What I would do is, there's different ways you can break this information up. If you want to, if these are all off-site links, definitely recommend doing something like our featured this week, Brian Moss. He did something like that with his archive, and you have the videos here at the top, and then he has news and editorials here that have like an image. So he's using a list item with an image, text, and then a button that leads off to that said article. So you could definitely utilize something like this. I think it'll look a lot more attractive versus the button wall that you have here. I think this is nice, but it would just look more attractive at the end of the day. And this just feels like too much. I wouldn't even know where to start. So if you had a visual component to kind of go with it, I think that would look just more amazing at the end of the day. So something like this that he's utilizing on his website, I think could go a long way to your design. Okay, let's check out the blog. Hey, you're very consistent. Keep it up. Amazing. Keep up. Looks like you had a drop off at some point at the end of the year last year, but it looks like you've picked up and trying to be consistent. Great job. Let's take a look at what you got going on. Whoa, there we go. Yeah, for a booking session. Looks cool. Very easy. Great photos, by the way. A little bit of storytelling. You can even reduce this. I say just use the 10. And if you're using our client gallery system, we have a feature in the back where you can just tell it to create a collage, and it'll create a collage, and it's done, and then you just write the context, and you're done. Looks great though. Let's see with this one. I mean, I love the images. I just don't think you have to show them all. Save that for the family. But great context. What would I say up here at the top? The menu goes from lowercase. This is okay because this is a book title. But then book your session is in all bold. It's the only thing that I'm like, I'm a little bit. I would rather it be consistent, or you have a standout button. You could use a site link there if you need to, which will probably formulate down here. But that's the only thing I would recommend. I just feel like it feels a little, it's the only thing that feels really out of place up in the menu. But other than that, you have amazing photography. You have it really paired well. Things I would recommend are very, very easy fixes. Mostly just adding SEO related data on those pages, just some context on those pages, and then making sure you have call to actions in certain areas. Maybe even just fixing some areas with text wrapping, or like we saw on the one page, removing one section and just putting it in its own block. I think that would look attractive. The biggest thing that I thought that could utilize the most help was here, and that's turning it into more of an archival versus just a button city. Because I'm not going to click on any of these, and I doubt anyone else will really take the time to, because there's no visual component here, and it just kind of feels floaty. Almost looks like a pot. Like a 8-bit pot in a way. So I would definitely utilize something that's more visual in that area. Yeah. So yes, that's all we have for today. Thank you for sharing your website with me. You have gorgeous websites, guys. Everyone who shared, Susan, Jillian, all you, thank you so much for sharing your websites with me. They're very, if there's any things that you need modifications with, they're very simple fixes. But if you need that help, if you don't know how to do those things, that's where our team can come in. You can always reach out to our team. Our support system is always available for you. Just log into your website and you'll see it in the lower right half. Be able to click on those icons. Now, if you want to, you can always have your website reviewed by our team. You can see the links over here in the corner. If you haven't had your website reviewed by us, we'll take a look at your website. Tell us what your website, put information in there. We'll take a look at it on our live as we go into the future. Now, other things you can do is if you need help, if you want to get help, but you don't want to get a service straight up, you can always go through our coaching services. Our coaching services are great because they're only $150 for 1 hour, and you can choose what you want to focus on. So like if you need design assistance or anything like that, reach out to our team. $150, you can get a lot done in that time period. So if you want us to go through there and make modifications to your website, this is the perfect time to do it. Or if you just want to give it all over to our team, you can always do our services, our pro services that are available in the back end. You can go to photobiz.com. You can learn more about these pro services that we have down in the lower footer. You can see some of these here, such as our We Build It For You program. So if you need any SEO help, or if you want us to just make a tweak to your website or modify, give it a refresh, or maybe you are just building your website, our We Build It For You is a great package that you can start with. And what's great about it is it's only a one-time fee of $600, and then it's just your membership. And what we're going to do is we're going to build it, we're going to write it, and we're going to optimize your website. Just take our customers' words for what we're doing for you. You can see that we can make your website look gorgeous, make it really stand out, and just make you feel branded at the end of the day. So take advantage of these services. I think we might even have promotions running. Just call into our team. Our team will be able to assist you. You can always reach out to our team here as well on that side. And I just want to thank everyone for joining me today. Sorry if there was any technical issues at the beginning, but technology can be fun sometimes. So I just want to say thank you. And I hope to see you next week. We'll be focused on, let's see what we're going to be looking at. We're going to be going to education.photobiz.com. You can click on the upcoming events. We are working on next week. Hey, we're going to be talking about writing with PhotoBiz AI. So if you ever wanted to utilize the AI system but didn't know where to start, so if you're having trouble generating blog content, website content, or even your SEO, this is going to be a great resource for you so you can learn more about this feature and how you can utilize it for your business, and maybe even take the current content you have and refresh it. And how can you utilize that with the AI system? Well, you want to join us next week and I'll walk you through it and how easy it is to use it. We built entire web pages with the new system in the last few weeks. Very handy, very fast, and you can build a website in less than a day. Isn't that awesome? If you want to know more about how you can build a website in less than a day, go to our blog.photobiz.com. You can read our recent featured story with Brian Moss. He is a Grammy-nominated artist who did some artwork recently for a musician. But one thing that he was struggling with is people finding him. He has this huge social media presence, but the people who were looking for him were out of France and didn't know where to look for because they were looking in traditional spaces. They look online. So they were looking through and they could not find him anywhere to contact him. And we built him a website within a day with our We Build It For You program. We went through that and we had him done. His website's optimized. He has a gorgeous website. And it was so fast, he swears that he thought our team was AI. So you can get a website that's built in no time if you look for those types of systems, and you take a look at his website. It's fast, it's beautiful, it's organized, it's clean, very straight to the point. If you want to read more about him, you can click on the About. It's got all his information stored here. If you want to look at his work, click on Work, and it's all stored here. You can see the information here. It talks about who he is, so when people are looking for him, how to find him based on the SEO. And then all the archive information directly here as well. So think about these types of things when it comes to your business and how you might be able to utilize strategies just like Brian Moss you can do for your own business. All right, I want to thank you all for joining me today, and I'll see you next time, and we'll be talking about some really fun stuff. PhotoBiz